First, I'd like to, before I forget, just to commend Mark. He put together that Beanpot program. I took it home, and it's the best we ever had. It's just fabulous when it gives the history of the Beanpot and things in that program. So if you haven't had a chance to look at it, you know, make sure you grab one, and then this is the guy right there. So hats off to him.
Thanks, Coach.
Now he give me the mic, I guess. Huh? That's the only way I get the mic. Hey, just you know, I'm so incredibly proud of our club, but it was specifically our senior class, and then our captains that are in the senior class for what they've done over their careers, and they really are model citizens for Boston College hockey. I mean, we couldn't think of three better people to put up here at the mic that really reflect all of our intrinsic values of our team. Having said that, we will have a curfew later on. So, but I thought the game was, you know, we played well. I thought the save Parker made, I think it was second period, was it was a low-scoring game at that time. Made an unbelievable save and a breakaway. And then at 0.4 seconds when Stevie scored, you know, that gave us that margin 4-1. But all of a sudden, you know, Northeastern comes out, scores two quick goals in the third period, and now the resiliency on our bench was excellent on that. You know, we took a pretty good hit, but we got up off the, you know, just took a hit. But you got to be able to give a hit too, you know. So we took a hit, and then Mike Matheson, the play he made on Johnny Godot's goal for our fifth goal, and really the sealer was something special. But I thought our team played well, and we had to, because Northeastern, you got to throw out records, guys, because sometimes you look at records and say, what kind of team is that? Well, it's not. That's the team in October, November, December. All of a sudden you're in February. Well, how good are you in February? And Northeastern's got a darn good team right now. But really feel excited about winning a Beanpot.
If we could open the questions to Stephen, Patrick, and Patrick. Brian?
Hey guys, Brian O'Connor, ESPN Boston. By my count, 2 crossbars, 2 posts. Did you start thinking at any time that it was going to be one of those nights?
No, I think, you know, obviously that's frustrating, but, you know, we don't let the negativity creep in. You know, there's one thing if you're getting the chances and they're not going in, but then there's another thing if you're not getting the chances. So I think the chances were there, you know, which is obviously a positive for us. And, you know, we knew that if we, you know, continue to pound the net and, you know, work hard around the blue paint, that eventually they'd go in, and they did for us.
John?
Thank you. John Powers, Boston Globe. For Pat, this was a 1-goal game with about 6 minutes to go. The last 3 Beanpots you won, all 1-goal games, 2 in overtime. What does it say about your team's DNA that you win these games? They're all close, or all close certainly near the end. You guys always do it.
Which Pat?
I'm sorry, Mullane, you. I'm sorry. You're Pat, he's Patrick.
I think it's a true testament to just the guys in the locker room. And it starts at the top, obviously, with our coaching staff. And you know, when we gave up those 2 goals early in the second period, or the third period, excuse me, you know, I don't think anyone started to panic. There was no negativity on our bench. No one hit the panic button. I think everyone stayed composed and understood, you know, what our job was. And you know, I think we executed pretty well after that, and we played some really good hockey after those 2 goals. So I think, you know, everyone stayed relaxed on the bench, and you know, those are the kind of things that make teams successful and have made us successful in this tournament over the last few years.
Nancy?
Nancy Marapiece, Boston Globe. Steve, could you talk about Gaudreau's goal? You kind of stayed along the boards there and just kind of spun around and waited for Michael. But if you could talk about that, and also as a senior, what it means for you guys to go 8-0.
Yeah, well, Mikey made a great play. I kind of just waited for him. Came out of the Mullane, I gave it to him. I think he stick handled through about 3 guys. They find Johnny back door, so I just kind of stood up to the side and watched. But yeah, it was a great play. And for our seniors, we're all so excited. I think this is awesome for us. It's awesome that we all did it together, and we're excited that our freshmen got a Beanpot, and gave the rest of the guys a chance to go 4 in a row too.
Dave?
Stephen, Dave Hendrickson, U.S. College Hockey Online. A lot's going to be written about the senior class, but can you just talk about how, and you just did a little bit, but you know, that key goal, freshman Matheson, Johnny Gaudreau, a sophomore. Can you just talk about how the fact that it's kind of, that success is passed on down from the seniors onto the underclassmen as well?
Yeah, I think tonight we got a lot of great efforts from every class. Quinn had 2 goals this Beanpot. Pat Brown's starting to score now, and that's what we're going to need. And I think I don't know how much they learned from us, but we try our best and try to do what the coaches tell us, and try to set a good example for them.
Andy, front here.
Andy Merritt, New England Hockey Journal for Pat Way. You didn't grow up around here, so I know the Beanpot isn't necessarily something that was on your radar when you were a kid, but when you got here, how long did it take to figure out that this is a big deal, and could you have ever imagined that you guys were going to win 4 leagues while you were here?
It didn't take me long. Once I got in the rink and looked up and saw, I don't know who we played the first game that I played in because I was hurt freshman year, but the first time I looked up and saw the fans surrounding like the upper bowl, I knew it was serious. I knew people around here got pretty excited about it. And what was the second part of the question?
Just, could you have ever imagined that you guys would win 4 of these things?
Oh gosh, no. No, I could have never imagined this happening, and it's a testament to our coaches and the culture that's bred here, that we were brought up in. So I'm so fortunate to be a part of this team, and I feel blessed.
Any questions? Gentlemen, congratulations. Do you have one more? Take one more, sorry.
Diana Neros, USHO. Steve and Pat, could you guys, on the other side of that, what's it like to try to explain to the non-locals what it's like, the Beanpot's like, having grown up watching it?
The non-local players on our team?
Yeah.
For me, I think it's something that I look forward to every year. So, when I got here, and obviously, Pat is not from around here, but it's, I guess it's just the biggest college hockey tournament that there is, and it brings together for the best or the most elite, college hockey programs in the country all for one tournament, and it brings in the fans and the culture, and I think just having the close proximity and the rivalries, I think that's how I describe it. It's just the biggest, most exciting, and historic college hockey tournament that there is.
Thank you very much, guys. Congratulations on your 4 straight. We can now open up the questions to Coach York. Gentlemen, you guys can retreat back to the locker room if you need.
Actually, sorry. Before I leave, I just want to thank all the fans and the support that we've got over the last 2 Mondays. It's it's truly special. Like Pat Wade brought it up a bit, but it's really special to look up, and see 6 or 7 sections across the upper bowl completely filled with BC students, and it's exciting for us, and it brings a lot of energy for us. So I just want to say thanks to our fans.
We can now open up the questions for Coach York. Brian, right here.
Brian OConnor, ESPN Boston. Coach, before tonight's game, we talked briefly about how important defense was going to be, and it was a real bend but don't break effort, I thought. Can you comment on that?
Yeah, I think our defense is such an important part of the game, but offense is also. So you got to be balanced. And other teams bring good players, as evidenced by how well Sapinari played and how Roy's played. For Mish, that line was as good a line as we've seen this year. So they're going to create a lot of offense, and with our emphasis on defense, you're never going to shut out teams because they've got too many good players. So not very often you're going to shut out teams. But I thought we did a nice job defensively. But you got to give Northeastern a lot of credit. They moved the puck extremely well.
Andy?
Jerry, 4 years ago, you guys watched BU win pretty much everything in sight, including this tournament. Could you have imagined then that the class that you were bringing in was going to sweep this thing all 4 years, that this program would enter this kind of era of dominance, specifically in the Beanpot?
You know, I thought when Brian Jonta, the crew he had there, we ran into some unbelievable goaltenders. That stretch, you know, that was as close as I envisioned. Let's win them all. But goaltenders we made MVPs out of 3 straight goaltenders. But we've had some very, very good teams. Luck plays a certain amount in winning this many Beanpots in a row for sure, and I think our players understand that. So,
Ryan.
Coach Ryan Hurling, SB Nation, sat here last week and said you got a game on Friday to prepare for. That's what you're going to focus on. That game didn't happen.
it became a real tournament then, didn't it?
Yeah. So I mean, you know, it changes your preparation a little bit. Maybe I'm not sure whether guys were allowed to leave the dorms or whatever to even come to the rink over the weekend. But what did you guys do? Did you do anything differently to get ready for this one, considering what we dealt with the past?
Shoveled a lot of snow, I think. Yes. Most of the players, we were just glad we got everybody to practice. Trying to stay away from the governor's edict, but I had to slide in from Watertown. All those being, but all the players showed up, and you know, it was kind of a neat atmosphere because everything was shut down. And I thought we might have had even more chance to practice, you know, as did the other teams. So generally, we play that Friday night game and then come back. But it was kind of a neat experience, the snowstorm and hockey.
Scott McGough from College Hockey News. Players talked about the culture here and kind of like the trickle down effect from other leaders. Can you talk about that? And at what point during that 4-year process did you realize that this group can be that next great leader?
Well, I think Ben Smith, that group there with Ben Smith and Tommy Cross, Pat Mullane and Stevie and Pat, They didn't win 4 Beanpots by themselves in the senior class. They understand that. We had a lot of other good players that were with them. But what impressed me the most about our guys was yesterday we were talking about winning 4 straight. I think it was Patrick Way that said, "Hey, listen, we want to win for the freshmen. They've never won a trophy." So they deflect that back to it's not just all about the senior class, and I think that's pretty good. I like that in the players.
Ariel Aronson, Inside Hockey. You touched on this a little bit earlier, but can you just speak to the magnitude of any team, winning 4 straight Beanpots, given how much teams change year to year and the importance of this tournament?
Yeah, I think it's a great credit to our team because I have utmost respect for Harvard, Northeastern, and Boston University. It's in my nature. I think they're well-coached teams, and they're a lot of history to those other 3 schools, but we also, I think, are in that mix there. Like I said before, you're going to need some luck. You need some pipes, and you need some good performances. I think Parker's been terrific in goal for us. But yeah, it's a lot of good players that win games. Nancy, smart enough to know that.
Nancy Mary Peaceboro, Boston Globe. Jerry, could you talk a little bit about where you go from here? You've talked about trophies, and now you have another one, and now the philosophy is what going forward in terms of your team?
Yeah, we've often, because I love golf. I'm not very good at it, but I love golf, and I've always thought that the college hockey season reflects the PGA Tour and the fact that the major tournaments are what the elite players always look at. They want to win Pebble Beach, they want to win the Phoenix Open, but they're looking at the major tournaments, and this is almost like the start. This is the Masters, the very first opportunity. Then we have a chance to the Britannia Trophy, I call it. The regular season, so that's our next major. That'd be like the British Open. Is Joe British? I don't know. But maybe British, Italian British. But I think that's how we try to gear up. So the Beanpot's great, and I love it, but it's just 4 schools. You know, the next one is 10 schools, and then you go into, you know, the nation, so that's one we point toward. But each step like this helps you, I think, in the long run.
Are there any questions, Coach York, out there?
We had James Driscoll come and spoke with us a few months ago and talked about the rigors of the PGA Tour. But he was very insightful as far as how hard you have to practice. I think that rubs off on our guys too, because they're all golfers. Much better than I am. James finished, what, 9th? With the Pebble Beach. He had that guy from Notre Dame with him, though. Brian Kelly was his amateur partner.
Jerry, you mentioned Parker. If I can ask you to expand on him a little bit. Obviously, he stepped into a role that, you know, some pretty big shoes to fill going back 2, 4, 6 years with your goaltenders. Can you just talk about what he's been able to do for you guys now that he is, you know, for the last however many games it's been now, the number one?
You know, we reflect back on the game in our locker room after each game, and when Parker's turned to look back at the game, he said, "Hey, I gave up 2 goals that I never should have given up." And so he's very inward looking, saying, "Hey, I love to win the trophy. I let you down a little bit." I'm saying he's made all these great saves too, you know, but he's that type of player, you know. He said, "Hey, 2 goals that was soft I should have had, but he made some incredible saves." I think he's been a backbone to our team. You know, I think you can't win trophies without outstanding goaltenders, and he's become our, you know, 2 national championships. He's the glue to our team, I would think, when I look at our whole club.
There's one more out there, we'll take it. Coach York, congratulations. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.